I mean, you know, like, I've had surgery a week, I got one of my not proven.
That kind of way.
But I'll get there.
Yeah, cause I don't know, you know, you're gonna be like, oh, nope, I've had 6 months.
No question.
I'm hoping, I go to the doctor in 10 days.
Yeah, they're transfer, and that's what that
Hoping
notice
that
says, is
that
that
I will
it
be
keeps
through
on
with the
this.
walker and you'll be.
Put it into the other one?
Yeah.
Okay. Kick it out one and put it in the other.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And I just think
If I can, you know, if I can do
you,
that, that's steady progress.
That'd be your improvement.
That'll be improved.
Yep.
And so if I'm at that point then,
You know what, yeah.
in another
I'll give
2
you my
weeks,
account number.
and
You just
he
put
told me
it in,
the
you
thing
just send it to me, your account.
just get up
that
and
might
do
be
it. So
right, cause your original paperwork.
if I'm home unless I'm asleep.
Yeah, I guess so.
I
When did,
work an hour and a half.
when did,
I get up
take
and
over?
roll around.
Nice, nice how you call it.
You just got
5
to,
years?
You gotta move, pass your wife.
Probably close.
Okay, so it might have been right.
Maybe not.
It might
Okay.
be.
Oh,
All right, let me just get down there.
Commissioner
And that might be
Homicide,
why
yeah,
one
but she
says
just corrected a couple of times.
PNC and I think
Go
it's
slow,
which
go
one
slow.
was
Save yourself, save yourself.
Save yourself. You're not a good trainer.
I might not be the ideal.
Oh,
trainer.
it should
Oh,
be.
It does.
Okay, yeah, but it gives you an error
It gives
message.
me an error message saying.
That's good.
it's this one, but we're gonna-
We ready to start our pre-council meeting agenda? Alrighty. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming this evening. We do have a lot to discuss. We don't necessarily have a lot to legislate. I guess we'll start off talking about the appointments for the City of Clay Board of Adjustments. I hope you all had an opportunity to go through those applications. Were there any questions on any of them? Anything that we need to discuss? I have 5 applicants.
One of the ones was, you know, we talked about it earlier, the gobbledygook on the application.
Yes, and he
I had
has.
an individual call me last Friday night expressing an interest, and I told him to, you know, that Monday morning they needed to contact City Hall and fill a form out. And you didn't have a form, so that hasn't happened. I think that's
I didn't have a form.
yeah, you did bring in a form from him, so obviously he didn't come up here and do it.
Oh, yes, that's correct.
And from the conversation you and I have had, you've had the same problem with people that approached you and said that, hey, I'd like to be involved, but then they don't follow up.
Correct.
And I don't know how to resolve that.
Well, that's the commitment level. If you're willing to, I mean, we made it so that you could click on it, and fill it out and send it in via email, so I'm not asking you to come up to City Hall and pick up a form and fill it out, although that is also an option that's available. And so I think that's a level of commitment, and I know that sometimes time constraints get in the way, but we have been putting this out here for quite a while, and so I feel like
Since
some.
Christmas.
Yes, and it's March 10th, so I think that some decisions need to be made. We need to get this board going, so that some of them can get the training that I think they need in order to make wise decisions when they're called upon.
I spoke to someone this afternoon after our meeting, sent you a text a little while ago about that. They just, they're potentially very interested in helping the city and doing their civic duty. They just want to, 24 hours to pray about it.
Okay,
So, and I think they'd be extremely qualified.
But I think what we need to do there, I have one contact me, you have one contact you. Dr. Roach said that she'd had a contact. Will you tell these folks that they need to have their information in by next Monday? That's their drop dead date.
Yeah, have a
Because at
deadline?
our next council meeting, we are filling these positions out of the candidates that have you know, followed through as opposed to just talking about it.
Have we put a deadline date on that, or just,
That's what he's saying.
okay, just so.
We haven't had a
date.
deadline date. I want to put a deadline
Put a
date.
firm deadline date on it.
Yeah, I want to say, you know, all the applications are gonna close at 5 o'clock next Monday.
Okay,
And then whatever we've got,
right.
because I'm uncomfortable that people contact me and say, hey, I wanna do this, and all they've got to do is fill out a form online and send it in, and they're not willing to do that,
In a timely manner.
then maybe they don't really need to be involved with these tasks.
Right. Perhaps they're just being, polite and don't wanna tell you, no, I'm not interested in that. Or they might have gotten busy.
Or, you know, I don't know, but at some point I don't care.
I agree.
They have to, you know, here's the process.
I know Jody's been on the planning and zoning for quite some time. How many BZA hearings have we had
Never.
over the year? Okay, that's, I knew it was not many if we'd had any. So-
Now, having said that, looking back, there
a
were
few
3
times-
or 4 that should have been BZA, but previously there was not really a functioning BZA committee.
So these people are expecting once or twice a year, maybe to come to the meetings. Maybe 3 to 4 times a year.
When called on.
Right, sure.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you that, but I would be amazed if they had to meet more than twice a year.
Yeah, not a huge requirement.
Would the same deadline be for the volunteer process as well? Cause it was a volunteer and then it was the board, so would that be the same?
For
The deadline?
What do we call those people?
Wasn't it the same application for both?
The supernumerary for the zoning board of adjustment?
That's
I
what
mean,
I'm
I'd
Yeah,
like to get everybody,
on
all
the
7.
BZA, we have to have 5, what they call permanent members, those are the voting members. Then we have 2 alternates, where if a voting member is not available to attend, one of those alternates can attend, because they are different than the way we vote. There's 5 members, and for them to vote to take an action, they have to have 4 in agreement. So they have to have a supermajority. So that's why you have the spare members, supernumerary members, whatever they call them, something.
Supernumerary, I
Yeah,
think.
I can't say 50 words. Yeah, they have these spares, so if we need to plug a spare in, you can get 5 people at a meeting. But like you said, this is a once or twice a year, maybe. But it is very important, because this is one of the few committees that is not making a recommendation, they are taking an action.
Right.
Where planning and zoning makes recommendations to the council on what to zone something, BZA decides this is what's going to happen here, and that's it.
Right. They don't bring it back to the council for us to approve or disapprove. Their decision is final.
Right. So it's not going to be a very active, but if done correctly, it is very critical.
And they would generally only come into play if the citizen didn't like the actions of the council.
If the citizen didn't like the recommendation of the planning and zoning, and the council voted however the planning and zoning had recommended, then they appeal it to the BZA.
Right.
They are quasi judicial, and they would appeal it to, circuit court.
Right, if they didn't like the.
If they didn't like their decision, then
Then
it
they
goes
could go to
into
court.
circuit court.
Right, so it's planning and zoning, council, BZA, circuit court.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I would suggest is we get all these people that have contacted us and said, hey, I'm interested. Well, you need to do your written expression of interest and get it submitted by 5 p.m. next Monday. because at our next council meeting, we are staffing the BZA.
Do we need to have a council member on that board?
There is,
It's one,
You can,
no,
not on the BCA, but it's.
what you can do, what has been done in other cities, they put one of the slots is filled by the chairman of planning and zoning.
Okay.
One slot is filled by a council member, and so that still leaves 5 positions that are filled from the public at large.
well, now, wait a minute, because according to, the state zoning statute, it does not expressly prohibit a council member from serving on the board, but most municipalities do not appoint council members to the Board of Adjustment.
Okay. Well,
Because the
I looked
board
at some
performs-
around us and they tended to have a council member on it, but it's not a requirement. You put whoever you want on it.
Well, it can,
I would suggest that you have the chairman of the planning and zoning on there so they can discuss how planning and zoning got to their position.
Our training, they
Only one
recommended
member.
different people.
only one member can hold a position on the planning and zoning and the BZA,
Right.
and that's according to the Alabama code.
I know, that's why I was suggesting that you put the chairman of planning and zoning, that be the one person that's on both.
Yes, sir.
And then we can fill the rest of them however we choose, and remember they're staggered terms. But I think we need to create a hard deadline and move forward.
All right, how about the Youth Advisory Board?
But they not have the same deadline, 3/16? Or do you need it to stay longer for it to be staggered?
I don't think it needs to stay any longer. I think we've got plenty of people, and again,
I think on the youth advisory board, you've got plenty of looks like plenty of quality candidates.
It was a lot of money. So the 16.
You had a lot of interest.
yes,
Question. It
Yes, ma'am.
says only one nominee shall be appointed to each place. Then it says, only one shall be appointed to place 5, so is that, which is it, or is it all? On the bottom it says,
there's
no,
only
one
one
nominee may be
per-
appointed to place 5, but then at the top it says, only one nominee will be appointed to each place. So I was trying to see, was number 5 just something redundant, or what were we saying?
the wording on the
Yeah,
bottom part
that's
was
not-
an error.
Yeah, that's an error.
Okay.
It's on the bottom of this page.
Yes,
Okay.
I mean, I think we have enough to go ahead and do that this evening, if everyone is prepared.
I was confused on how are we voting on these people for these positions? I was confused. Are we checking the approved / and then the most number of approved for each spot gets the? I was confused by this, resolution, the way it's on here on the paper.
I think it would be a good idea, yes, check them off and then we can count the votes. I don't know that we, I don't,
Per place, or it looks like we've got 6 people if I've read this correctly.
I think it's 7.
Sorry,
think
seven
there's
people.
I think there are 7.
Right.
So you could, and they're in order received, so you could just give me, you can just check your 5 on that first one,
Uh-huh.
where it says place 1, you can just check off your 5 that you're approving, and then we will just place them in place
Okay.
based on the date that their application was received.
Okay, I just saw the voting in each section, and I
I
was
know,
like,
well,
it would
yes.
be a disaster.
I think that
there.
would be a little bit shorter way to do it.
Right,
Does that
absolutely.
make sense?
That makes a lot more sense to me.
Could you,
So it's 5 per place that you choose?
Five
No, you
total.
want, no,
So you all will decide on the place based on where the applications came in.
Well,
She's
what
got
I would
every
like
name
to
in every
do
place.
is probably call them and ask them, because if you notice, place one, the term is a 1 year commitment. This
Right.
place two is a 2 year commitment, and they go up from there. So I would probably ask, once we have the 5 people, how long a term are you willing to
Commit.
do? And I have their applications here if you need to look at them.
Has our athletic director made any recommendations?
Yes. Miss Tiffany Cook and Derek Rios would be two of his
Okay.
recommendations that I know of.
And who recommendations are these?
Jeremiah Whitfield's,
Okay.
our athletic director.
Okay.
These are people that he works with on the regular basis. For that
Could
matter.
you, could you give me a one-sentence snapshot of each person?
Mr. Derek Rios is the
See the soccer,
director, yes, the director of the Total Football Club. Mr. Josh Cheek is a coach at the high school. Mr. Bill Sorrell led the athletic, sports director for the city of Clay for 9 years. Miss Alexis Banks is currently the treasurer of the Clay Elementary School PTA, and has children in the system. Miss Tiffany Cook is the cheer coach and coordinator, and is a early childhood development employee for over 10 years. Mr. Kevin Berry is a long-standing member of the community and had 3 children play in the ball and travel here in the community. Mr. Matt Clay, y'all know from the Planning and Zoning Board.
Tiffany Cope and Derek Rios, those are the 2 of his recommendations.
Yes.
Okay.
okay, so,
How about, I may have, did you go over, Mr. Sheep, Joshua Sheep?
He is a coach, a football coach at
Okay.
the Clay Chapel High School.
Okay.
and we're gonna just, how many you gonna end up with?
5.
5.
So we just do our top 5 and then
And she's gonna,
you're
then
gonna
we'll-
place them at
we'll
year
put-
1, year 3, whatever works out best for the combination.
Yes. I'm gonna certainly try that, to give them an opportunity to, for their own time commitment. That gives them an opportunity to.
Okay. Very good.
Fireworks displays. I sent you an email concerning that. I was, I will say, a little taken aback.
That was pretty good, though. That was a good price.
At those prices.
Now, I'm assuming his prices are not to have it on a date, not the 4th of July.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's probably already booked for.
He's already booked for the
For the 4th. I mean, we could certainly, maybe we could come up with somebody else.
No, well, we usually, in the past, it's been done like the weekend before the 4th, because it was a dramatic difference in the price.
Well, I think that was the price for last year.
Yeah, it was.
It
So-
was.
Yeah,
It was last year's price.
and it went up slightly.
But that's not an unreasonable number for a 20-minute fireworks show.
What I was going to suggest, as we were talking about this, as well as, the United States 250th anniversary celebration. I know that we had talked about doing, community events. If this would be something that we would want to do, July the 4th, would be the day that the nation would be celebrating. And it's on a Saturday, which is convenient. But I thought that because we, also have a few other days that we could celebrate, that we might consider not doing it on July 4th when everyone else was doing it. And because that 250th anniversary celebration is actually this whole year. So we have some flexibility. We could think about doing it on June 6th, which is, the anniversary date of the incorporation of the city of Clay. Or we could consider doing it on Juneteenth, which to my mind is another.
Could we do it on July the 3rd? Would we get a price break if we do it on the 3rd instead of the 4th?
You're talking about fireworks.
Yes.
I'm talking about a citywide celebration.
Okay.
A big party to celebrate America, to celebrate Juneteenth, to celebrate Clay. What's anybody think about that?
I like July the 4th, but I'm just old school.
Well, I'm old school too on the 4th, but I know in the past we've got a significant price break by doing it a day or two off for the 4th. But with the 4th being on the weekend, I like to see it, what kind of price can we get to do something on Friday the 3rd as a lead-in to whatever's going on the 4th. Even if we're doing a city event on the 4th, we could do the fireworks on the 3rd as a lead-in and might get a break on the price.
Okay, that would be something to check out.
June 6th is on a Saturday, Juneteenth is on a Friday. So either one of those days, you just have to, leverage and look at those. You may get, depending on what you're gonna do for the celebration,
Mm-hmm.
if you, whatever you're gonna do, it depends on if you need a Friday or a Saturday.
Right. Well, we do not have a stadium currently, but we do have a ball field. Up at the top of the ball field, there's good parking there. There's plenty of parking down below. If we ran, we've got 2 buses citywide where people could park down there near the disc golf, and be driven back and forth up the hill. I think it could be a great day if we had some different local bands, some reenactors, I'd love to have some people who are involved in the history of Clay, in the history of Juneteenth, if we were doing it then, or in the history of America. Food trucks, encourage everybody, churches, giveaways, ice cream contest, watermelon, eating contest, I don't know, what do y'all think?
We did June 6th, which is, what you said, that's
A
Clay's.
Saturday. That's
Which is the
Clay's.
7th. I think we did that day, then that we can incorporate a little bit of everything.
It's a
At
Saturday.
that one time, we do the big celebration then, and let that incorporate everything, then I could definitely work with the party as far as putting together some bands, cause I was gonna bring that up at the end of the meeting, but
Right,
this could even work to just go ahead and have a concert during that same time.
right.
Yeah, we may be a little late in the curve to try to get groups for the 4th of July. A lot of the bands and things like that are gonna be already booked up.
Well, and that's why I
That's what we're doing
we,
on the 6th.
Yeah.
if we did, right, if we did a
Six.
big, a lot of people go out of town on the 4th. And so
Mhm.
if you, and there will be a lot of celebrations throughout the nation that I'm sure there are people from here who would be going specifically to those places for those big national events.
I think if we did the 6th, and that was actually Clay's initiation time.
Right.
I think that'll make it more about the city, that'll get the city more involved, have the people coming out and they'll feel like it's more about the city of Clay.
Right,
And we can encompass any and everything else, but I think people feel like it's for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll come out to participate.
all right, let's hear from this end of the dais about that.
I'm fine with that, do it on the, the anniversary of Clay. Been great if it coincided last year, but,
Well,
It didn't, so-
we can only move
celebrate
forward.
26 and 250.
I agree with Nathan, exactly. So, I think we need to do, I'm old school like Nathan is, I like to, if we could do the 4th, that's
Okay,
our,
so you're
that's our
saying
birthday.
look for a different vendor, or look for July 3rd concerning fireworks? But
Yes,
still have the, city celebration on June
Fourth.
6th.
on the, what,
On June
On
6th.
June
June
6th.
okay. June 6th, yeah, that's fine, that's fine, just so long as we incorporate the 4th in there somewhere.
Because June sixth, we don't have to have fireworks, we can
Right,
have enough
right,
concerts
that's
and
fine.
music and all the other things incorporated that I don't think we can all do that.
So July 3rd for the fireworks.
Is this gonna affect, anything with the youth sports? Have we looked to see if there's anything going on that weekend?
Well, we can clear the schedule. Our, tournaments will be over June 20th. So if it's June 6th, that could be an issue. But I can see what I can do.
I mean, we've got the soccer field to the
We
lower
do-
field.
we do
but
have-
I don't know which
we
ones
do
are
have
being
down
used.
below.
Right.
That just doesn't quite have as much, bathroom space.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
but I mean, it definitely has a football field
Right.
that you could,
Set up, just
doesn't really
there
have
won't be one where
bleachers.
restroom or
I guess
anything
they
like
could
that.
mostly be moved though.
That'd be a lot of
No.
work.
Okay.
May I say something? If we do this on the Saturday, or a Saturday, we can incorporate all 3 radio shows into it. So that's something from the location.
Okay. Well, if USA has it through the 20th, then we might have to go bump it down and do it like on the 27th of June, which wouldn't necessarily be, it's in the same month at least.
It's in the same, right before the other, next thing you just
Right
turn it,
before
everything you
the
want.
other.
everything
If we're
before
gonna
the-
move it, I would just prefer that we do it to July 4th. If we're gonna move it to just a random, I mean, it's great that it's June 6th, the anniversary of the city, but we're at not on that day. I don't see any reason not to run it on July 4th.
Okay.
Make a big 2-day, fireworks July 3rd, big party all day July 4th, But you're right, at this time, it may be tough to get,
Right.
maybe we can get Tushy or Brad or somebody to look in to see if they've got any free time, see if we can find anybody.
All right.
But we need to get a contract signed with the fireworks folks.
Right, ASAP.
Are those the same people we used in the past?
Mm-hmm.
These are,
Okay.
yes.
And I would do the enhanced one that's gonna incorporate some of the birthday fireworks,
All right.
not
So-
just our standard 20-minute one, maybe we'll get a 25-minute one.
Okay, so an enhanced fireworks display on July 3rd is what we're aiming for.
Yes.
And then I will check on the dates concerning and another option would be if we couldn't do it is maybe do it as a school kickoff. I know it'd be hot as blazes in early August.
Mm.
They don't get summer anymore.
I recommend air-conditioned trailer. With a big window.
There you go.
So that would be that.
Oh, we got 2 minutes, Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah. Who would like to lead off that conversation?
I guess I would. I just would like to know, since I'm on the board, of course, I don't have a whole lot to do with the finances and that sort of thing. I just like, as our board, as our council, what would we like to see out of the chamber? Any kind of suggestions I need to take to them, or anything that you want to see? Anyway, just any feedback would be great.
They would like to see, I know I would personally like to see more of our individual businesses be more involved.
Okay.
So being able to have those businesses be a part of it, like even when we have the luncheon, if we chose 3 or 4 different ones each time, I think that'll be a good way to get them involved in what's going on. I think then that will give them an opportunity to know more about what we're doing, and then finding out information on their own when they come to those different events, Butterbean Festival, the different things that we sponsor, whether it's the fair or anything else that the Chamber of Commerce do. I think that'll give them an opportunity to know that.
And we generally have a few extra council tickets that we could give to, city tickets that we could give to a business owner that might not know, might be a new business owner.
I think
something
that'll
like
be a
that.
great relationship within the city, showing that the city council is on the same page as the chambers, and everybody's working together, but it also builds a relationship with them.
Right. Okay.
Okay, we'll start off our next pre-council meeting, continuing that conversation. Right now, it's time for us to start our council meeting. I would ask if anyone has any public comments that they would like to make. There is a piece of paper over there in the corner. You may fill out and bring up to the front. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes, please. And if we're ready, we'll do a call to order. You'll bow your heads. Lord Jesus, I bless your name. You are a holy and righteous God. You are worthy of our praise and our respect. I pray, Father God, for a sense of your peace, a sense of unity, that we would function, Father God, as you have called us to govern rightly. And I pray these things in the holy name of my Savior, Jesus. Amen. Amen. You would rise for the pledge. Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have a roll call, please.
Okay.
Counselor Thompson,
Present.
Counselor Youngblood,
Present.
Counselor Neal,
Present?
Counselor Harris,
Present.
Counselor Rush,
Present.
Mayor Anderson.
Present. Make a motion, that's not right. I'll take a motion to approve the council minutes.
I make a motion, we approve the meeting agendas.
Second.
Pre-council and council minutes.
For both. Yes.
I make a motion, we approve the pre-council and council minutes from February 24th, 2026.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Take a motion to approve the meeting agendas. Both the meeting agenda and the consent agenda is gonna be separate.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Counselor Thompson,
Yes.
Counselor Youngblood,
Yes.
Counselor Neal,
Yes.
Counselor Harris,
Yes.
Counselor Rush,
Yes.
Mayor Anderson.
Yes. Okay, we had some folks, go to some CAPSO training, which is, planning and zoning, training, and we are excited to say that they have completed their training and received their certificates. So I'm going to deliver those to Mr. Mr. Chris Nail.
Okay.
Mr. Thompson. He has a, did you do both? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I did both.
Successfully completed his 10 hours of training in his home study course as well.
Look at you.
And Mr. Harris. again, successfully completed his 10 hours of training and home study course and his 3.5 hours in instruction. So we appreciate y'all doing that. I also, I don't wanna forget, Mr. Matt Clay also attended that training,
I gotta submit it.
and Mr. Marola, and Mr. Josh Self, I think, was
Yes.
our other one. Mr. Bill McAllister, who's also on our planning and zoning committee, has plans to take that coming up tomorrow. So we're excited that folks are receiving that. We are, as has already been mentioned, still soliciting for some people on the zoning board of adjustment. And we have decided that they have until Monday, close of day, which is 4 o'clock, to get those applications into us, because we will be making some firm decisions on the 24th. I am excited to announce that this was our second weekend at the Clay Ballpark, where we had a $2,000 weekend.
Wow.
Yay! We have 219 children playing in our Clay Youth Sports, baseball and softball. And that's going well, and that is not including, we have a team that plays in the tournaments, but the rest of the other 1,000 people that are up there every Saturday are from all over, about 4 different counties, are from all over coming into Clay for their kids to play baseball all day long, up at our facilities, and I think that they're really enjoying it. There's a lot of excitement up there, and if you get a chance, you might have a hard time finding a parking place because it's full, but go up and watch some fun Little League baseball. I'm pleased to announce that our sales tax revenue is up 7% for this same period last year. And I
think it's important to note that 7% is after there's been a fire. Wasn't that after the fire? So we actually are doing better than that because we lost a revenue source.
Oh,
The Dollar General's not there anymore.
okay, there we go. I'd also, I've had some people reach out to me with the recent storms because of the level of trash that's in Cosby Lake. As you know, we have quite a few open ditches around here. There's one that comes straight down through Steeplechase, and there's one that comes straight down Old Springville Road, and all of it ends up in our lake, which is also our water source, because that eventually winds its way to the Blackwater River. So I would like to restart a group that I had involved several years ago called Caretakers of Cosby Lake. You can find that group on Facebook. I would like to get up a volunteer group that would address needs of cleanup and invasive species in that area. At this point, you wouldn't even need to fill out a volunteer application. I would just put out when we're gonna have a meetup down there, and you would just bring your gloves and your closed-toed shoes and your clippers, and if you've got one of those little trash pullers, and we will get some things cleaned up out of there, so that we are.
Jane, we had some high school students that reached out this week to me,
Mhm.
in a reference to wanting to do service hours, and they're looking to do litter control. We do have, a litter control where it's, our high school students for all 12 school districts surrounding.
Mhm.
So they wanted to be able to reach out to set something up to be able to do, so that'll be a perfect opportunity. They'll be willing to help you.
Lovely. We will set it up one
It's the
Saturday morning, and
The broadcasting.
I'll
group.
work them to death.
It's the broadcasting children at Clay Chapel High School.
That's wonderful. I will say, I'm quite proud of, our public works, keeping our city streets clean. You'll see them out sometime doing that, and they have been Johnny on the spot when I drive through the city and I call and say, Chase, And you'll notice they're out doing some cleanup, in several different areas, so I'm really proud of the employees of our city. And let's see, somebody else's turn. Mr. Thompson.
All righty. First of all, I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. It's, as always, great to see, a large crowd here. Couple of things. So the Dollar General, I don't know if anybody's been paying attention to it. It's progressing very well. It still looks like to me they're ahead of schedule. They're not going to say they're ahead of schedule, but they were putting in the coolers, had delivered coolers and putting them in just the other day. Today I completed the Brownfield Redevelopment Workshop Series, finished that. It's been a long process. We don't have a lot of brownfields in Clay. Most of them are being used right now, so it's something that could affect us in the future.
Tell them what a brownfield is.
A brownfield is basically an underdeveloped property or unused property that could have some other kind of ecological issues. So former gas station, former industrial site, those are the main ones that they have. Former, just, hey, we had a property that had a lot of asbestos in it. Instead of cleaning it up, we took the dozers and excavators and turned it in, and it's there in the dirt. So that's what a brownfield, the basics of what a brownfield is. Also had an opportunity to meet with Chase, the Public Works Director, and the city engineer, and Brad, the executive assistant, to take a detailed tour again of the D West property. So we've got some good ideas in the works for that, and the city engineer's working on some information for us, and Mr. Watson is definitely pushing him to get that information to us sooner rather than later. I think that's all I have for this week.
Thank you. Ms. Youngblood?
Just want to say thank you all for coming. It's good to see you. I have nothing at this time.
Mr. Nail?
Again, thank everybody for coming tonight. It's always good to see. Since I was on last term, we had about 3 people here. It's always good to see a good crowd from the community. I don't have anything I'll have the grants for for the month of March next week, our next meeting, so anyway, I have nothing else. Thank you.
Mr. Harris?
I want to town in on something the mayor talked about. If y'all will remember, a couple of months ago, we did a resolution to join the county cooperative for storm cleanup. And what happened in Pinson is exactly why we did that. They had resources coming immediately. I know Clay volunteered, our public service people, but I don't know if they were used a lot.
They were not utilized.
Because they had contractors that will come in and take care of that. The final story over in Pinson, it was a microburst because all the trees went the same direction. They weren't twisted and all like, the damage to the houses were all done by trees falling on them, not by the wind itself. The fortunate thing was no one was injured. All the cities, the fire district, and the various fire departments around here all worked really well together to make sure there were no issues that afternoon. So I was very pleased with how all of our organizations worked together. I think that's all I have right off the top of my head.
Okay, would you like our first responders to report, or?
Well, normally they would report on at the end of the month,
Okay,
but they can, I don't know, Brandon
That's
or Sergeant, y'all got anything y'all want to say today? You want to wait till 2 weeks?
I go in.
You will?
This is tracking. I'm here.
Well, you're always here. Part of the package.
Y'all deal today.
I'll be quick. So, thank you, Mayor and Council and members of the community. Give you a quick report for February. The district responded to 843 calls of service for the month of February. And again, that's the entire fire district, not just Clay. 5 of those were structure fires, and then 509 of those were EMS, in which we transported 334 of those. We had a pretty large commercial fire on the 13th of February. It's a vacant apartment complex. It's in the city of Center Point, Woodside Apartments. But anyway, that took up a lot of our resources that day. We spent a good 12 hours out there fighting that fire. And again, it's a vacant structure, but even those require a lot of attention and manpower. So,
Can I say something here?
yes, sir.
Alrighty. On a normal structure fire, we have our engine companies and all that. This was such an extended thing. I'm so proud of our staff at the fire district. About 11 o'clock at night, they realized that it was just gonna be a surround and drown and pump water. The administrative staff, the chiefs out of administration, our EMS officers, our training officers, our fire chief came in, took over equipment that was positioned to pump the water, and sent the other crews back to the station so they could try to get some rest. I think that tells you exactly what type of leadership the fire district has. That they didn't stand on the sidelines and say, y'all do this. They said, hey, I'll take care of this. Y'all go try to get some rest. I'm very proud of our leadership. I'm embarrassed.
Well, thank you. The real reason is that we all are just firefighters at heart, and we wanted to get out there and play, so that was a good time. But no, we send the minimum amount of people on calls. We do the best with what we have, so anytime we can step in and assist the guys that are on the operational line, give them a break, let them go back, get some dry, clean, warm clothes on, we obviously will do that. So, and then real quick, I'll just touch again on the storm that Mr. Harris mentioned about. On the 26th, you guys know, it was just a typical day. It seemed like we were getting some rain showers, and then around 3:30 in the afternoon, everything changed out here in the area real fast. The National Weather Service came out the next day, so there was a super cell storm that came through, and we had a microburst, straight line winds that came through Pinson. The same storm system continued over Clay and touched down again in Trussville as it had created or turned into an EF0 tornado. Very minimal damage for a tornado. So, just the thought that came through the area, it was literally right over the top of Clay. Severe weather is always a threat. We don't see it that often, so we just are numb to it. But so we wanted to bring attention to that for everybody to continue to be prepared for severe weather this time of year. Spring was hot and cold, turbulent thunderstorms. So keep your eye on any weather changes that are going on. Get you a weather radio. Get on the EMA's website. Sign up for their weather alerts. But we did really well on this incident that happened in Pinson. It was roughly a mile long area, and had 20-something homes that were affected at some point, either severe or minor damage. No injuries, no casualties, so we were very proud of that. We were able to work with our partner agencies. We put 30 people on the team there within about 45 minutes, including the EMA. So it's really a lot to have happen in just a short period of time during rush hour traffic, schools getting out, and then there was still severe weather in the area. So we thought that went really well. So anyway, that's all I got for the fire department. If you guys have any questions?
Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Tim, you gonna do the end of the month, or you wanna do now?
I'll even keep it under 3 minutes.
Woohoo!
Yeah, good evening, yeah, thanks. I just have the weekly report. We're always just a week behind, so this is from February 28th to March 6th. We had a total of 50 calls. Excuse me, I won't run through all of them. 11 investigate complaints, 7 burglary alarms, 4 traffic stops, 3 accidents with injuries, 3 other regular accidents, 2 patrol requests and 2 assist citizen, 1 animal nuisance, 1 domestic violence, one theft, and one shots fired call. That's all I have for that. If you have driven up Chalkville Road, I know that there's a burned vehicle. Just figured out there was some confusion earlier today about that, but I'll make sure that that's taken care of by tomorrow morning, so nobody's walking by and getting hurt on a burned vehicle. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so were those Clay calls or those
Yes, ma'am. Those are in the city of Clay.
in the city of Clay? So 50?
Yes, ma'am. 50 total.
Okay.
Yep. And that's just comparatively, that's very low, compared with Pinson and your other municipality of Center Point, 50.
That's about our average. We're doing 45 to 55 calls over a 7-day period, pretty much any one you pick.
Right. Yeah. Questions?
A question I get periodically, do you have units available out here that do traffic enforcement? Like maybe try to slow some folks down?
We do, yeah. Those same deputies are answering calls as well. We don't have we used to have a motor scout unit that would come out and run radar and enforce just traffic and work accidents, which I would love to have them back. That would really take a lot of call volume off the deputies in Clay and just deputies in general. We don't have any specific unit to that. The only traffic associated unit we have is just the traffic reconstruction team, and that's when we have an unfortunate fatality with an accident or something. So we do have the radar trailers and the camera trailers out to give some visual deterrence as well, though.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Dr. Rush?
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all out for coming out tonight. Just quick recap. We know that we're coming up next. Well, basically it started last week. Prom season has started, so we have a lot of schools within the the areas around us that will be having prom over the next month and a half. So please make sure that we're kind of being cautious and thinking of those students. Most of them are on Friday or Saturday, but Clay Chalkville High School's theirs will be on April the 17th. So just making sure that we're aware of that. Season is coming up. Today was Opportunity Day for the school district, so all of our students at the high school were out except for 11th graders who were testing today. So fingers crossed, prayers up that everybody has done a successful job. I know the staff has worked tremendously hard at the high school to prepare those students, so if you see someone, please make sure that they know how much we appreciate them. Also, we will be having our library meeting on April 21st. We had that reset because of the change in what we did for city council meeting. So that will be our next meeting. That'll be coming up for that. So if you're interested in what's going on in the library, a lot of great things will be coming this summer for students of all ages to be able to have summer reading program and things of that nature. Please come into our meeting or reach out to get some more information or check the website. So as we come up, I know Mayor will have that information put out on the Facebook page. All right. Also, signage. Our mayor wanted to make sure that our signage is taken care of for up by the ballpark. So we have reached out to Coke and heard back from them. So we're waiting for them to give us a date that they're going to come and get that set up. So we've been waiting for them to give us a date back, but I think it's time for me to give a call back or have Dr. Dallas call back. So once we get that date, they should come out and reprogram that sign. So we'll be ready to roll up at the field. All right. And that is all that I have.
Do you know if the Jefferson County Maintenance Department has working on the middle school?
So I do know the work order has been turned in. I can check with Mr. Pody, who is our maintenance director, and see when they're gonna get out there, but the maintenance order has been turned in. I checked with Mr. Wilson when I was out there last Thursday for a meeting.
Okay, yeah, we had some, we had some bids turned in for the stonework for the Clay Library sign. And we said, wait a minute, y'all got to come back with some reasonable numbers. So we'll continue to look for that.
Okay, all right, and I'll send you a text tomorrow, let you know. I'll touch base with Lee to find out.
All right, we have no petitions, applications, or complaints. Public hearings, but we do have a public comment. Ms. Cooper.
Yes. Good evening.
Good
And
evening.
thank you all for allowing me to just speak with you all with some concerns that I have. I'm a board member of Winchester Hills. The president is there, Tamika, and she's a little under the weather, so I'm gonna try to take her part. But we are bombarded with the lack of observance of our covenant. And we have abandoned cars that have been marked by the police, bullet holes. It's been there 2 weeks. We can't get it towed. We have illegal parking. We have speeders. It's just, by the grace of God, a child hasn't been hit. And we've had several car accidents because they're parking in the curb and you can't see them. We also have renters. I don't know how they've sprung up, but when we call to check, they don't have permission to be renting in there from the city of Clay. We have a lot of unused parking areas that they're not taking advantage of because they're allowed to park on the sidewalks. We have people bringing home tractor-trailer vehicles and parking them in the subdivision. I'm a 5-year resident and I'm so disappointed in what this neighborhood has become.
Can I ask a question? When you say your HOA has tagged a vehicle, but you can't get it towed,
Police have tagged it and it has bullet holes. It's been there 2 weeks. We have a lot of abandoned cars, flat tires, inoperable
Okay.
cars.
And the cars are on the street or are they in
are
their
are they
private
on the
property?
public street or are they on
Public
HOA?
street,
Okay, well, that
broken down,
changes my,
flat tires.
that changes my answer.
Yep, that totally changed.
See, if it was an HOA, if it was an HOA parking lot, the HOA could have them towed.
No,
If it's on a public street, it's
no
different.
current tags on the cars, and we still can't get them pulled.
Let us check into it.
Okay, Tamika, can you come? She's sick, you all. But she's our president, but the rentals have just taken over the community. I think it's some school, it's 5 people in a 5-bedroom home. They have 6 vehicles. They're parking on the street. I can't get out of my driveway until I do a twist. But I don't even know who they're renting from. I just don't wanna leave anything out, so if she could just speak on the other things that she knows.
Hey, how y'all doing today? I'm doing good. For allowing us to speak. We have, sent out letters. We've delivered them to the door, put them certified. The cars parked in the yard broke down for years. We asked them to move them because the covenant said we're not supposed to have cars in the yard, on the street, on the curb. It has to be in the driveway or in the garages. Now, we have a Habitat for Humanity homes built over in the community, and all the houses were supposed to be built the same, but they, some kind of way, they got out of putting us garages on the houses over in the community. We don't have garages. They said that the plans were, that they presented to y'all, had garages, but when they built them the way they wanted to. So they have lack of space to park. So, by me, trying to get the cars pulled off the street, I can't let them, the cars just because of that, stay on the street, because it's against the violation. If I'm gonna put a violation out, I have to do it for everyone.
That's correct.
And they're coming at me like, well, we don't have houses with garages. I mean, that's not something that I can control because I didn't build houses. But I do know that
is you're gonna have to legally enforce your covenants. And there's very limited things the city can do to enforce an HOA covenant.
Correct.
But, even in spite of the LGI homes not having garages, they still have double parking. They actually have better than some of the LGI homes because they have single.
It's DR Horton Homes, LGI and Habitat for Humanity, it's mixed. So everybody's houses are different. LGI homes are more like the DR Horton homes in the front. But Habitat, when they put us over there, they just built, just regular houses.
Is there any way we can get some speed bumps? We have just habitual speeders.
And every time I've called someone out, just like a tow company to try to see if they'll come remove the vehicles, they said we don't remove vehicles out of communities anymore, so there's no one to come get the vehicles. I've called everybody out the phone book, but nobody will come do it for some reason. So it's no one that I can get to move any vehicles, and if I don't get them moved, they're gonna continue doing it, and they're not paying the HOA dues, they're doing what they wanna do, and it's just bringing down the community for the ones that are doing what they need to do.
So even the vehicle that's been tagged by the officer, the police officer, that one has not, if you call them, they won't come and remove that one?
They said that they can't remove it. They
And
said
it's
they
on
can't
the,
remove it.
it's on
And
the
it's on the
public
street.
street.
It's on the street,
It's on the
street,
circle, in the circle.
in the common area, or the community. Yeah, it's in the common
Is it
area.
parked on, wait a minute,
No, the cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac, yeah.
So it's
but
not
it's
right
parked on a public street.
Yes.
I don't know how the bus is getting through there
Yeah,
because it's right there. Someone moved that car a little bit, moved it.
maybe storm moved it.
Officer, we have a word
Yeah,
for
I
us.
will say, so the sheriff's office we can't tow a vehicle if it's not blocking an emergency vehicle, either the fire department or the sheriff's office. We can't enforce HOAs either. We can't get involved with it at all. It's a completely civil matter between the HOA and the resident or whoever y'all are dealing with. The city of Centerpoint deals with the same issue. They have a city ordinance. They have a person that goes out and gives a warning, and if they don't comply, they tow their vehicle. They towed 60 vehicles last month because of the violation, exactly the same thing y'all are dealing with. So if y'all need me to get y'all in touch with the person that handles that, just
Yeah.
for
Absolutely.
procedural wise, I can absolutely connect
That
y'all
would
with them.
definitely be great.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank y'all.
What about the speed bumps, though? Can we get some of those?
We're gonna do.
The first step in that process is to get a petition up in your neighborhood and have half of the residents, the rooftops in that area sign it.
Okay.
And agree to have some speed bumps in your neighborhood. That's the first step. All right,
I make a motion that we enter into unanimous consent.
Second.
Have we had no public hearings, just public comments?
correct.
That's all.
Okay, resolution 2620,
You gotta have a vote.
roll call.
Counselor Thompson,
Yes.
Counselor Youngblood,
Yes.
Counselor Nell,
Yes.
Counselor Harris,
Yes,
Counselor Rush,
Yes.
Mayor Anderson.
Yes. All right, resolution 2620 is a resolution appointing, members to the zoning board of adjustments. We said that we would table that until the next
16.
meeting, which is
Have
the
the application.
I
24.
make a motion that we table resolution 2620 until our next meeting in March.
Second.
I'm gonna have some discussion before we roll call that. What I would like to do,
Before we actually table it, we need to put it on the table. Before we can actually table it, it's actually not on the table yet.
Did
We
you
have to
make a
approve the
motion?
vote on, he made a
You
motion
make
to
a motion
table.
and
I
a
make a
second?
motion to table it, we can't discuss it.
Well, then I would like to discuss it before we,
Yep, so we won't.
Okay, I'll withdraw my motion.
thank you, sir. And the reason that I'm saying that is because if I call your name, I'd like for you to stand up for me, please. Mr. Christopher White, Mr. Maureen Thompson, Ms. Caroline Ellis, Mr. Roger Napier, Mr. James Vining. These are 4 of the 5 applicants who are here this evening. If you have a moment after the meeting and you would like to make yourself known to these counselors, I would like for y'all to do that. If y'all have a moment as a council to just introduce yourselves and meet these people who are willing to serve our city, I would appreciate that from our council. Okay, now you can go.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we
Thank you.
table resolution 2620 until our next regularly scheduled council meeting.
Second?
Roll call?
Counselor Thompson,
It's not actually on the table yet, but yes. Just for,
He made a
Right.
motion to table.
before we table it though, we have to put it on the table before we take it off the table. Like, it's just on the agenda right now, but we haven't made a motion to bring this before the council.
That's what we
It's a
did when we
procedural
entered
issue.
unanimous consent, isn't it? Is that correct? When we entered into unanimous consent, we were ready to discuss these things?
Well, that's a whole nother topic. But historically, or normally the resolutions have been brought forth with a motion and a second before discussion has occurred. And I think Councilman Thompson is saying, in this instance, that didn't happen, and since that didn't happen procedurally, you can't put something on the table that has not been moved and seconded and open for discussion.
Okay, I got it, I'm with you.
It's just a procedural issue.
I'm ready. I make a motion that we consider resolution 2620.
Second?
Now we vote.
Now,
We have to vote on it, we gotta put it
we
on the
vote
table.
on that, and then I make a motion to table.
Where'd you go?
Correct, yes. No?
Now is the discussion, and during the discussion, you would make the motion to table.
Right, so now, do we have to have a recorded vote to?
All right, so I make a motion that we table, 2026-20.
I second.
Vote on that.
Now we vote.
Thank you. Roll call.
Counselor Thompson.
Yes.
Counselor Youngblood,
Yes.
Counselor Neal,
Yes.
Counselor Harris. Counselor Harris,
Yes.
Counselor Rush,
Yes.
Mayor Anderson.
Yes. Now are we ready to discuss resolution 2621?
I make a motion that we bring 2026-21, as approved with the top 5 people being picked, being selected across the board.
Second?
Is there any discussion?
How do you want us to do this? Just,
Just mark your.
Just
Mark
check
our
them
top
off and
5.
save me, right, and save me that piece of paper. Or send me a picture of it on your phone if you wanna keep it for your record.
We're choosing one per place. Let me just-
No, just choose one out of the
on
top
place
5.
one, just choose the 5 you want on the top. On
But
place
she's
one,
gonna place them in
single
order
pick.
based on how they're willing to serve.
Basically.
so on place 1, I will vote for 5 people, and then you're gonna handle everything else.
That's
Yes,
correct.
sir.
I got it.
Only thing I would ask if there are any people here, if they would stand.
I don't think so, but we will certainly ask.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Matt's
ask
here.
here.
Yeah, Matt Clay, Tiffany Cope, Kevin Berry, Bill Sorrell, Joshua Cheek, Alexis Banks, and Derek Rios.
I just walked in, so.
Okay.
So Matt Clay, Alexis Banks, and they're the only ones who are here this evening.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You ready to vote?
I think so.
Okay.
Counselor Thompson,
Yes.
Counselor Youngblood,
Yes.
Counselor Neal,
Yes.
Counselor Harris,
Yes.
Counselor Rush,
Yes.
Mayor Anderson.
Yes. All right, I don't know that there's anything else this evening, so that can end unanimous consent.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Counselor Thompson,
Yes.
Counselor Youngblood,
Yes.
Counselor Neal,
Yes.
Counselor Harris,
Yes.
Counselor Rush,
Yes.
Mayor Anderson.
Yes. Our next city council meeting is Tuesday, March 24th. I'll accept a motion for adjournment.
So
I make a
moved, Mayor.
motion, we adjourn.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
If you just talking